Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now the eagle-eyed viewers of you will know that I have had a rebrand and I am now Bombadil's Bookish Things. Thought why not put Lord of the Rings into my YouTube channel name as well? Why not? So yeah, from now on I will be posting as Bombadil's Bookish Things, but I hope you enjoy my unhaul video. As you all know, Christmas is coming up next month in December, obviously, and I realised that my bookshelves are full to bursting. So I've decided to do a little bit of an unhaul. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a quick explanation as to why some of these are being unhauled. Some of them I haven't read, but I'm just not interested in them anymore. So without further ado, I should probably just get on with it. So first, I'm just going to talk about a series. So I'm going to be getting rid of Carry On, Wayward Son, and Any Way the Wind Blows, because I read this series a while back. I liked the first one, liked the second one, the third one was okay. So I enjoyed them for what this is, but I also feel like I've outgrown them a little bit now, so that's why I'm choosing to get rid of these now. And I know I've got one in paperback and the other two in hardback, which is also very annoying. The next book I'm going to unhaul is Book of Night by Holly Black. Now, I'm either going to give this one away to one of my friends or it will be up for sale on Depop. This is the Fairy Loot edition. I tried to read this and I just couldn't. I just couldn't get through it. It wasn't giving me what I wanted. So I think I got to page 154. And I still just didn't care. So I'm going to give this to someone who will really enjoy it. I'm also getting rid of Which is Steeped in Gold by Kianan Smart. Now, I liked this book. I have issues with it because the synopsis makes it seem like it's a completely different story. And I have a problem with books like that anyway. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the second one in the series, because I do want to continue with the series, but just in the normal edition, and also get the Which is Steeped in Gold in the normal edition. I don't need this beautiful edition, however beautiful it is. Like, it is stunning, but I don't need it. So I'm going to be unhauling that. I'm also going to be unhauling The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This was gifted to me by my wonderful friend Milen. But again, this is the beautiful Lumen Crate edition. I didn't love this book as much as I wanted to. I thought it was very interesting power play, political fantasy, and I will be getting the normal editions of this one and the second one because, again, I do want to continue the series. I just don't need this edition on my shelf. I'm also going to be getting rid of The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I don't think this is any surprise to anyone. I did not enjoy this book. It is pretentious for being pretentious' sake. Like, it's a dark academia, which is, by its own admission, a pretentious genre. But this was just a trying too hard book, and I just did not enjoy it very much. I thought the characters were one-dimensional, and I thought the whole thing was boring. So I'm going to be getting rid of this one too. So those are the special editions I'll be getting rid of, and I will be putting some of these books up for sale on Depop, which I've linked down below if anyone wants to get their hands on any of these. It will probably be UK only though, because I think shipping to the US will be a lot more expensive. So I think it will just be UK only for now. So let's get into some paperbacks. So I'm going to be getting rid of The Hanging Artist by John Steinhagen. This one I've had on my shelves for quite a while now, and it was one of my chocolate and book subscription picks. And for a while I was really, really interested because it's to do, I think it's like something to do with Franz Kafka and, you know, the Metamorphosis. And I really enjoyed that short story, but the more it sat on my shelf, the less inclined I am to have picked it up. So I think it's time for this one to say goodbye. I'm also just not interested in Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray anymore. I thought I might be, but this is the Fairy Loot edition. It came in as an extra book, and the more I think about it, the less interested I am. It might be fantastic, but I'm just not going to be reading it anytime soon, and it's just sat on my shelf for that long now. It's not something I need anymore. Okay, so the next few I have read. So I'll be unhauling Vamps by Nicole Arend. This was awful, and like not even the too awful it's kind of good sense. It's trash. It's teenage vampire trash. And I thought I would really enjoy that. And the idea of a elite school for vampires and dampiers, awesome, right? But this was terribly written. It was just everything about it was bad. So I gave this, I think I gave it 2 stars, so I will be getting rid of this one. Not worth it, in my opinion. People aren't going to like this next one. I will be unhauling the Nevernight trilogy, all 3. I loved Nevernight so much. This book was fabulous. Like, genuinely amazing. Could not fault it. I tabbed it up. There's notes in here of, like, well, okay, there's underlines. I've underlined a bunch of stuff in here. I have, like, a key of what each fucking tab meant. I really enjoyed this one, and I wanted it to be continuing on this trajectory. I read this one quite a long time ago. Then I really did not like Dark Dawn at all. I nearly DNF'd it. The only reason I got through this book was because of the audiobook on Scribd. Literally would have DNF'd it if the audiobook didn't work. If there wasn't one that didn't work, mind well. And God's Grave was fine. I wasn't surprised by any of the twists and turns. I just didn't care by the end. However, these 2 will be going to my mother, who has read Nevernight and really enjoyed it, so I will give her the rest of the series because she may really enjoy hearing Mia's story. I didn't care, but she might, so. Another book I'm thinking about gifting is Dune by Frank Herbert. I probably won't though because it's a bit damaged. I listened to the audiobook. I'm not really that interested in carrying on with the series, to be honest with you. It is classic sci-fi, but it feels very fantastical. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think there are better sci-fi books out there, and to be honest, this is chunky and I need space on my shelves, and I'm not going to reread this. Another set of books I know people are not going to be very happy with me for. The Dark Shade of Magic series. This is the America's Collector's Edition, and I originally bought this because I thought I would really enjoy this series, and on paper, I should have done. I read A Dark Shade of Magic, and I think the problem was this was so hyped up for me that I was expecting something that wasn't just another fantasy. And I very much felt like this was just another fantasy. And I have all the series here. It is a boxed set, but of course the box doesn't do anything. And it comes with this really cool, like, maps and extras and stuff. So this will be, again, this whole series will be on my Depop. Because someone who wants this will probably really love it. So, yeah. And they're brand new. I've only read this one. The other 2 I haven't even opened. So, yeah, they should be in fairly good condition. So I know people are going to be annoyed at me, but nothing I can do. The 10,000 Doors of January. Now, I really enjoyed this book by Alex E. Harrow. I thought it was very interesting. I loved the concept, but I'm never going to reread this. This also gave me very weird vibes because it is a white woman writing a mixed race character, and it just left me with a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. The We Free Men by Terry Pratchett. I love Terry Pratchett so much. I find his writing style to be so much fun and silly, and it's such great writing. But I'm going to get rid of this because Hannah has a beautiful edition downstairs, and I genuinely don't need this edition anymore, so it's time for it to go. Feathertide by Beth Cartwright. Again, this is just sat on my shelf for that long. I'm just not interested in it anymore. It's mermaids, and that's all I know about it. But I'm just not interested in it anymore, so I am unholding it. The Sin Eater by Megan Campisi. Again, people aren't going to like this next one. I'm going to be unhauling the Caraval series. This was unhauled to me by Hannah, and she was right, and I should really learn to listen to them. I read Caraval, was bored the entire time. Like, the entire time I was reading these. It was just crap. I did not enjoy it at all. It just was not what I wanted in a book. So, of course, that means I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to carry on with Legendary and Finale, so these can just get off my shelves. Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. I just don't think this will be a book for me. I know it's very beautiful, it's very poignant, but I just feel like I'm not going to enjoy it. So I'm just going to give it to someone who will enjoy it. How Much of These Hills is Gold, and I bought this when I first moved to Oxford. Haven't yet to pick it up. It's less and less likely that I'm going to read this. This is about the gold rush, obviously, and I'm less interested in that subject more and more, I think, so time for it to go. Northwind by Gary Paulson. I was so bored by this middle grade. It's a beautiful setting, it's stunning, it's about, like, the orcas and this one boy's journey from his home across the ocean in this canoe, basically, but there are better middle grades out there, so gonna make room for some better ones. It's quite small, but it doesn't deserve space on my shelf. The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. I am just not interested in historical fiction at the moment. And the last book that I am unhauling will be Afterlove by Tanya Byrne. This was the Fairy Loot edition. This is a romance, and if you know anything about me at all, you know that romance is not for me. So it's time, unfortunately, for this one to go. Now, as I said, some of these will be put onto Depop, some of these will be gifted to my family, some of them will be going to charity shops, so they're not going in the bin. Hopefully they'll find new owners, but I don't need these. I just don't need these books on my shelves anymore, and I need space for better, well, books that I am more inclined to read. So yeah, if you've got to this point, let me know if you're interested in any of these books. If you don't have anything to say, that just put a little emoji, a little book stack emoji down below, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks guys, bye.